Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, 26th of August 2019. Now, I know I wasn't going to record today, but so much has happened during Friday and overnight that it would be a shame not to actually report on it. So Friday, stocks, dollar, yields crash, gold explodes as stunned traders react to a series of surreal events. So let's have a look at this as it unfolded during Friday's session. So this is the pre-market session for the Dow. Prices moving higher, and then you will see them being slammed to the downside. And this was on an announcement by the Fed. You'll see their prices moving lower, and then walloped to the downside, and then the market recovers all the way back up in the main session here. You'll see prices coming back up and then trading sideways. You can see there I drew in a lot of 76% retracements, and then as you'll see in a moment we get to the 200 bar moving average. I'm looking at the daily chart there just to see where we are, and drew in this one here, 26,395, just to see if we were going to have a look at it. And then the market traded sideways on lower volume before prices came back below the 200 bar moving average and then were slammed to the downside. And the reason for this, I'll just drag this in here, just got to try and remember where all of these are. There was so much going on. Let's have a look here. Not that one, we'll come to that one. Yep. Stocks plunge after Trump vows to retaliate to China. This afternoon orders US companies to find an alternative to China, and this is what sent the market to the downside here. And then it continued to the downside for the afternoon. You can see they're staying below the 20 bar moving average. Bit of a bounce there, then back below, and then down again, and continuing to move lower until we got towards the close, when we see the profit taking coming in from the short side, which brings the market back there. So yeah, it was a busy one on Friday. Let me just readjust all of this. So now this is Friday's session. The bigger picture, we had a bit of a bounce there, a buy, and then followed by two sell signals. And then what's interesting here, I'll drag the chart across, the market gapped down on the overnight, 11 o'clock last night, and we've seen the market being brought back. And the question is, of course, is why is it being brought back and who's behind it? Well, you've guessed it, it's the usual suspects. The plunge protection team arrives, lifts stocks and currencies and slams gold. So as I've said before, and I will keep saying it, they will do absolutely anything, whatever it takes, to keep this market moving to the upside, even though it's under huge pressure to actually move lower. And you can see here now, look, huge amount of buying coming into the market. And with the UK closed today, there's no major news. We've got bank holiday for Germany as well. And sorry, not Germany, for the UK, and then a few meetings. We've got the G7, whether something may come out of that. But to be honest with you, as I've said before, and I'm going to show you this as well, if we come to here, triggered, trader warns it's ridiculous, it's a ridiculous trading environment. And it's, as I keep saying, everyone has a trade plan until a tweet shreds their stops. And again, if you go back and check the old market alerts, it's something I've been talking about for a long time. Instead of having the economic news open in your browsers and looking at factory Forex Factory, you might as well have Twitter open and wait to see what Trump's going to send out, because that's the farce that we've actually come to, where we're seeing this. And I mean, it isn't just me that's been saying this for months. Others are now saying it's actually made the news as well. So in the daily chart, we can see prices trading down to the 200 bar moving average and below it on Friday, then bouncing back a bit. But yesterday's or overnight, there you can see the market gapping lower, coming back above the 76% retracement, and also the 200 bar moving average there, as prices attempt to move higher. So we'll keep an eye on this today. The markets will be thinner because there are markets closed. Meanwhile, in the pound, on Friday, this moving higher once more as the dollar weakness on Friday as well because of the trade wars with China. So prices moving higher. We had a bit of a sell to start with. Market found support, so you can see this here, and then they managed to move to the upside above the 200 bar moving average. In Bitcoin over the weekend, we've seen the market was sideways for Saturday and Sunday, and then on the overnight we've seen the market moving higher, trading up to the 200 bar moving average, but failing to hold at the moment with some selling around, but still looks like it's going to have another look at this area. Let's just draw in a 76% retracement from here down to here, and this is an area that you want to watch, 10.722. And then yesterday the market was just sort of sideways to higher. The 200 bar moving average is here, and then the market was hit with some selling, bringing it back through, and then it took overnight to actually drive back through this area. So we would expect this to be fairly quietish, if not to the upside for today. Other news, just to bring you up to speed, Deutsche Bank starting to move back to the downside again on Friday, and then the implied volatility obviously moving higher. Just drag this across this way or this way, one or the other. There we go. So yeah, 1531 to 1883. As I mentioned in Friday's market alert, even though the market comes back through here, you tend to get this sort of move. Let me just do that in a different color so that you can see it. So the market moves higher, it comes back just below the 20 bar moving average. Seems to be a pattern as you look back, and then it will have another run to the upside with the stock market moving to the downside, and that's what we're seeing here. So let's have a look at this without any numbers on it, and you can see this. I've colored it in yellow where it's come back and then gone back through. Same here before prices. Then we just move the chart to actually make another move to the downside. So again, no surprise really when you look at this. 10-year yields, this also making new lows on Friday as well. And that's about it, I think. We've only got the yield curve here. The brilliant thing about this one that I showed you last week is that this is updated dynamically. So as the yields change across the spectrum for each of these countries, they're either added or removed and put back from either totally inverted, partially inverted, or minimally inverted. So it's a great one to actually just get a good idea of globally where the countries that have the complete inversion of their yield curve. And yeah, I think that's it. We'll see what Trump puts out today. Yeah, we live in very interesting times, but like I say, they're going to do their damnedest to keep these markets moving to the upside, which is what we're seeing now. How the markets are moving strongly back, and yeah, the Europe's open, UK closed. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. And with that, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.